Dear brothers and sisters, I still remember in my younger time, our NCC or CNG leader in my hometown distributed the invitation letter from one house to another. Usually he used his motorcycle to distribute that invitation letter because not every family had telephone at that time. Now, almost everybody has handphone and easier to communicate. The world seems smaller because everybody can communicate easier with technology. Today, we are living in a world which is growing ever smaller and where, as a result, it would seem to be easier for all of us to be neighbors, said Pope Francis in his World Communication Sunday's message. The Pope also insisted that media can help us to feel closer to one another, creating a sense of the unity of the human family, which can in turn inspire solidarity and serious efforts to ensure a more dignified life for all. Good communication helps us to grow closer, to know one another better, and ultimately to grow in unity. The growing of the technology is incredibly very fast. We can see the latest model of iPhone or Samsung or Galaxy or BlackBerry or Nokia almost every month. But that is not the most important thing for us in celebrating the World Communication Sunday. We still can enjoy the old phone as long as we are able to communicate better with one another. My brothers and sisters, in fact, the development of technology is not always make people closer to one another and able to communicate better. Children are busy with their games and lazy to study. When their parents tell them to study or go to church, they will grumble. People live in their own world. They build a wall between them and their neighbor. People who are sitting next to each other in bus or MRT don't communicate because they are busy with their own gadget. There was an elderly who said to me, "Father, last time my son always visited me before he gave me handphone. But now he only calls me by phone and has never visited me anymore." Technology has changed the behavior of people. Nevertheless, in the situation like this, Pope Francis tells us that we do not justify rejecting social media. Rather, they remind us that communication is ultimately a human rather than technological achievement. It is not enough to have a modern technology without a good behavior of the users. My brothers and sisters, God Himself has given us an example how He communicates with us in a wonderful way. He sent His only Son to the world so that He can communicate with us in a better way, closer and intimate. Jesus is the most perfect representative of God who reveals Himself as human being. He can feel what we feel. He can understand our struggling, fear, and suffering. He can communicate with us as human being. We don't need to hear the thunder or see the cloud when God spoke to us in the Old Testament. We can see and touch God in the human body of Jesus Christ. Dear brothers and sisters, nowadays there is a danger that certain media so condition our responses that we fail to see our real neighbor. We treat our neighbors as strangers. So, I would like to conclude with the last message of Pope Francis, who said, communication is really about realizing that we are all human beings, children of God. Let our communication be a balm which relieves pain and a fan which gladdens hearts. May the light we bring to others not be the result of cosmetics or special effects, but rather of our being loving and merciful neighbors to those wounded. Let us boldly become citizens of the digital world. The Church needs to be concerned for and present in the world of communication in order to dialogue with people today and to help them encounter Christ. She needs to be a church at the side of others, capable of accompanying everyone along the way. Amen.